Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Miniart. It's a 1/48 scale kit which copies field workshop tools, and here you can see that it's the final release, and I would say you will get exactly the same stuff if you order it, for example from Modelimex. And what we see here on the box art is actually what we get inside the box, and it looks like an interesting offering for those who like to build dioramas, especially in 1/48 scale. There are not that many alternatives, so that's why it will be interesting to see what is actually copied and how it is copied in this scale. So first of all, the box size is typical for this brand. Here you can see comparison with my hand, and we have the kit number here. It's 42012. And it's a part of their accessory series, as it's written in that corner. So here on the side we also have some other kits. We reviewed them both, and if you are interested in them, you can just type the Miniart name into the search and you will see the videos with those kits. On the opposite side you will find 5 languages for the safety advices, and here on the rear side you can see also the assembly guide and marking guide, so that you know how to assemble those items, and of course this colors chart which shows you the paint numbers in several designations, which is quite handy. And I always say that it's a good idea to preserve this table because it's a useful conversion chart for the future builds as well. So this is a side opening box, and here is what we have inside. As you can see, everything is sealed into one plastic bag, so I'm going to cut through it and we will take a closer look together. Straight away I can say that there are no figurines included into this kit, so in case you would like to combine it with some worker or maybe just some human, let's say, you will have to source your own figurines because they are not part of this kit. But I think Miniart makes a lot of interesting offerings which can be actually combined with this release, so it's not a huge problem. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is take out this plastic bag, and we will start with the sprue BF. So here you can see that we have parts for one of the equipment items. These are mainly the small ones, so here you can see various tools, and also this toolbox, which is might be familiar for some others who saw the previous releases of the repair vehicles from Miniart. And let's not forget that this one at least comes in 1/48 scale, because previous releases were in 140, actually 135. So here you can check the parts from the opposite side, and the size obviously is smaller than what we are used to seeing in 135. Here you can see comparison with my fingertip. Some parts barely fit on my fingertip, so that's why it will be necessary to be careful with those parts in order not to break them and not to lose anything. Next we continue with 2 identical plastic frames. So I will show you only one because they carry the same set of parts. And here we have the parts for the chair and also for the table. Note that the table panel does not feature any wooden texture whatsoever. So in case you would like to do some weathering, you have to do it with your own hands and tools and paint, but it might be actually a good idea to do so. And actually I can see that this, if I bring closer this panel from the opposite side, you can see that there are actually some marks. I'm not sure if it is intentional, but they are included here, so they might come handy for the weathering of this part. So again, the small parts look decent, and I do not see any possible molding damage on them. Next we continue with the fuel drums. So those ones are supplied on one frame, and as you remember we had the separate release with the fuel drums. I recommend you to check it as well. And here we get the only one plastic sprue with these fuel drums, but I think this set should be more than enough for your build. And as usual, as in the previous releases, here on the top panels we have some pre-molded details which are quite nice, and you can pick them up with maybe rust or scratches or something else. Next we continue with the oxygen bottles and various equipment for welding. So here, as you can see, each of the bottles will have to be assembled out of 2 hulls, and note that they are molded together with the top valves. Here we also have the stands for them, which is quite nice inclusion because some manufacturers just skip on this feature and then you have to make it yourself, or maybe you just place them in horizontal position. Here it's not the case. And next here you can see also some of the welding equipment. As I said, we even get this special helmet. So in case you have the suitable figurine, you can just add this helmet and it would be a nice addition to your diorama project. And let's flip it over because it's interesting to see if we have the guiding pins, and they're actually present here. So I don't think it will be a difficult task to combine these two together. But of course, make sure that you won't get any edges and gaps so that it won't look weird. Usually these bottles are smooth, as you remember, so that's why it is important to achieve the same effect on your build as well. Next, we continue with the last gray plastic sprue. I was just checking what is actually molded here. So here we get various Pioneer tools, the leather, and that's pretty much all. But all of these items should be handy in case you are making the workshop, and of course you don't have to use everything at once. You can store some of this for your next project and use them later, and of course all of these items might be also placed on some military vehicle or maybe on some civil vehicle, whatever you would prefer to build in 1/48 scale. But again, overall quality looks really great because we get all of these parts mainly as a one-piece elements, so it means that you don't have to attach any separate elements, separate sections here and there. It will simplify the assembly process. It will also simplify the painting process. So definitely a good design solution which will come handy during the assembly. And next we have this small envelope with Miniart logo. That's where they usually hide various PE add-ons, and here in this case we get 2 PE threads, which is rather surprising. So first one, I will zoom in a bit, and here's the first one. Here we get various parts for the handsaw, and as you can see, these blades are obviously better than what you can achieve with the plastic molding, so definitely a welcome addition. It will just make your whole set, whole build a bit more realistic looking. And then we get also some minor tools, hand tools, as you can see, for the toolbox. That's also a good thing to have because obviously you won't be able to replicate these ratchets with the plastic parts. Not in this size. So let's not forget that this is a 1/48 scale kit after all. And next we continue with the assembly manual. So actually what we had on the rear side of the box, that was more of a marking guide, because here is the assembly manual, and as you can see, we have the assembly instructions for the fuel drum, for the handsaw, also for the bucket, and here for the table and table vise. Next we continue with the ladder here, and then we have another handsaw, chair, also toolbox, and of course this welding equipment. And as you can see, welding equipment can be actually assembled together with a special transport card, so quite a good thing to have as well. And overall I think it's a really useful set from Miniart, because again I will say it that there are not that many accessories in 1/48 scale available. And here you get a lot of useful items in one box. And of course I'll be happy to hear your opinion about such a list. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And if you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.